So for the past few years, I've been quite involved with RedBubble, and not only as a seller of the platform, but also as someone who has in some ways promoted them through the content that I've posted here on my channel. And in no way have I ever been affiliated with RedBubble or paid by them to talk about their website. So everything I have ever said about them has come from my own personal experience and opinion. And for the most part, I've always had good things to say about them, and usually I would recommend it to people who are looking for an additional way to monetize their designs. But gradually over the past year or so, they've been making it harder and harder for me to continue supporting them, especially when it comes to me talking about them here on my channel, essentially promoting them to the people who watch my videos. And the reason it's becoming harder is that they seem to have lost track of what actually made their business successful in the first place, which is of course the sellers and artists who have contributed millions of designs and pieces of artwork to the website. And to me, it seems as if they no longer care for these sellers and artists who actually make their business function and thrive. As every couple of months, or at least every year, they've been introducing some sort of new policy or making some sudden changes that actually go against the sellers of the website. And a perfect example of this would be the new tier system that they introduced in May of 2023, which meant RedBubble sellers' accounts were going to be put into 3 different categories, with the lowest ranking being the standard account, and then you have the premium, and then the pro. And I'm sure for most people this is already old news, but I think it highlights the true direction and intentions of the website, which is to maximize profits and squeeze as much money as possible out of its sellers, and ultimately they want to deter new people from becoming sellers. Because how RedBubble works is when a sale is made for a t-shirt as an example that uses your design as a print on the front of that shirt, you are then given a small percentage commission for that sale, which is typically only around 20%. And this percentage share is already quite low, but now with the introduction of additional fees to standard sellers' accounts, your 20% commission is now going to look more like 5%. Because let's say that you're lucky enough to generate around $200 within just 1 month on RedBubble, well firstly, you're only getting 20% of that, so that's automatically going to bring it down to $40. And then next, you're going to be hit with an account fee, and because your earnings fall into the $40 to $40.99 bracket, RedBubble is going to take $27.20, which now only leaves you with $12.80. And what makes this even more of a joke is the fact that this account fee is only applied to the sellers who fall into the standard account bracket, which is essentially all new sellers and those with smaller storefronts. But for the sellers in the premium and pro bracket, for some reason they are exempt from this fee, which makes little sense to me because this is basically a tax on small sellers who already make very little. But if you happen to be a seller making thousands of dollars a month, then RedBubble isn't going to come after you. So to me, this seems like a play from RedBubble to deter people and make it less appealing for new sellers and existing sellers with smaller storefronts to even bother anymore. So not only is the new tier system going to eat away at the already small amount of money that RedBubble is leaving you, but the lack of quality control set in place by RedBubble is another reason why you're likely to make even less. And this is simply because of the returns and refunds that RedBubble are regularly having to issue to customers after they receive a really poor quality product. And some of the main causes for this is terrible print quality, or the product arrives and it doesn't look anything like how it was advertised on the website. And even though you might have done everything right by making sure that your design was high enough in pixel quality and that it was positioned and scaled on the product template correctly, these returns and refunds will still eat away at your profits. And again, this comes down to RedBubble trying to maximize profits by using really cheap and poor quality products from third-party printing companies. But another reason I'm finding it harder to justify sticking around on RedBubble isn't actually RedBubble's fault. It's actually more to do with the sellers of the platform, which is the issue of having people steal and copy your work. And to some extent, I get it. Everyone's trying to figure out the next big trend and then create more and more designs on this trend that they see is already working for many other sellers. But this then creates the problem where many of these sellers will directly copy your designs and your work one for one, all in the hopes of basically taking your customers and your sales. And for me personally, and for the stores that I have run on RedBubble, I have used other people's designs as a form of inspiration, but never did I copy them. But it's when you have the sellers who would directly go out of their way to copy your designs one for one, which is where the issue lies. Because most times after seeing one of my new designs starting to perform well and generate sales, it's not long after that I'll begin seeing copies popping up in the same search term. And it's gotten to the point where I feel we all have to accept it as a part of the process of selling on RedBubble. And this type of quick, fast-paced design creation at any cost is also what has led to the feeling of quantity over quality. And I'm personally guilty of this as well. Taking a look back at my RedBubble challenges, where the premise of the videos was to create as many designs as possible in really short periods. And this pretty much led me to creating and showcasing some of the worst designs I've ever made. So I find the issue with this is that the demand to upload as many designs as possible, where only a few of those designs will actually do well with popular keywords and new trends, has actually taken away from the creative work and fulfillment that got most sellers into it in the first place. So as of today, I've officially closed all of my RedBubble accounts and will no longer be making any more videos about them here on my channel, because I just feel that for where I want to invest my time and work, RedBubble is no longer worth it for me anymore. And if I were to stick around, I'd constantly be worried that they're going to introduce more and more changes that go against sellers, only making the returns on my time less worth it. So from here on out, I will continue working on my graphic designs and aim to create new income sources from them, but I'm definitely going to be more specific with the business models that I choose. Because another problem with selling on RedBubble is the fact that you can't really build any brand or long-lasting business from it. Because once you leave the platform, you have no information or data on any of the customers that ever bought your products. And these customers aren't going to remember that they bought these products directly from you, but instead they will always remember that they bought them from RedBubble. So no matter at what point you choose to walk away from RedBubble, you'll likely be walking away empty-handed. Unless of course you're able to build a social media following outside of RedBubble or a website, and in that case, you've set yourself up quite nicely to transition away from RedBubble. And for me personally, I no longer want to dedicate my time into things that aren't going to build a long-lasting business. Or at least, if I am going to make any compromise on not having certain control over customer data, brand, and things like that, then I'll definitely need to make sure that it's more lucrative and rewarding. And to be honest, I think Etsy is a perfect example of this because it allows for far more customization over your products and your store as compared to RedBubble, and it's definitely far more lucrative and rewarding. And although you still face the issue of not being able to build a standalone brand directly on Etsy, all the work that you put into your products, images, listing, and branding on the platform can all then be used and transferred into directly making your own website, which will eventually become your long-lasting and standalone business. Because when you're investing your time into uploading designs on not only RedBubble, but places like Society6 and these types of websites, you're not really building any sort of business. It's more a simple trade-off where they basically lend your designs in exchange for a small commission if they happen to sell. So when thinking of the short term, a better idea would be to utilize these platforms like Etsy, Amazon, and eBay, where you still have full control over the foundations of your business and products, and then later or alongside this, you can build your long-lasting business. Because at least when you invest time into creating products, images, and marketing material for your Etsy store, all of these things can be used on your own website, so you're essentially killing two birds with one stone. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments and what your plans are with RedBubble. Are you sticking around, doubling down, walking away? Let me know, as I'd love to hear. And I know this video has been quite a negative one, which usually isn't the direction that I want to take with my videos, but I felt that I needed to clarify as to why I'm no longer going to be posting any more videos about RedBubble, since a fair share of the people who subscribe to my channel are here because of RedBubble. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please make sure to drop this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye for now, peace.